Hello students, teachers, parents. History nerds, hello everybody, and welcome to Nutshelled History, where we lay out the facts, the good, the bad, and the ugly. We continue with our Modern World History series by looking at the Protestant Reformation. Check the description down below for a fill-in-the-blanks worksheet that goes along with this video. I just ask that you like and subscribe. I apologize in advance for any mispronunciations. Okay, let's go. In the 1500s, the Renaissance in Northern Europe sparked a religious upheaval that affected Christians at all levels of society. If you remember from the video on that topic, I had mentioned this. This movement is known as the Protestant Reformation. In the late Middle Ages, the Catholic Church had become caught up in worldly affairs. Popes led lavish lives and hired artists to enhance churches. To finance such projects, the Church increased fees for services. Many Christians protested such acts. They also questioned why the Church in distant Rome should have power over their lives. In 1517, protests against church abuses turned into a revolt. A German monk named Martin Luther triggered it over an event in Wittenberg, Germany. There, a priest sold indulgences to Christians to raise money to rebuild St. Peter's Cathedral in Rome. The indulgences were a large chunk of change, and if you bought them, they would free you or a loved one from purgatory, the endless waiting room to heaven. To Luther, the priest's actions were the final outrage. He wrote 95 theses or arguments against indulgences and nailed them to the door of a church. He said that they had no biblical basis, that the Pope did not have the authority to release souls from purgatory, and that Christians could be saved only through faith alone, not good works, not unnecessary sacraments, not indulgences, faith alone. Throughout Europe, Luther's 95 Theses stirred furious debate. Turn on those printing presses. The new Holy Roman Emperor, Charles V, was a devout Catholic and summoned Luther to the Diet or Assembly at the city of Worms. Luther refused to change his views. Thousands hailed Luther as a hero and renounced the authority of the Pope. At the heart of Luther's doctrines were several beliefs, including the idea that all Christians have equal access to God through faith and the Bible. Like previous reformers, Luther thought that the Bible should be in the vernacular. This is because all the truth and all the authority is found in the Bible. Only in the Bible, sola scriptura. Printing presses spread Luther's writings and ideas throughout Germany and Scandinavia. By 1530, Luther's many followers were using a new name, Protestants, for those who protested papal authority. Luther wasn't the sola dude who disagreed with the Church. In Switzerland, the reformer John Calvin also challenged the Catholic Church. Calvin shared many of Luther's beliefs, but also preached predestination. This is the idea that since God is all-knowing and all-powerful, he has already determined who would reach salvation and who would be sent to the pit. Protestants in Geneva asked Calvin to lead them. In keeping with his teachings, Calvin set up a theocracy, a government controlled by the Church. Reformers from all over Europe visited Geneva and then returned home to spread Calvin's ideas. While Luther may have started this brouhaha, but Calvin's beliefs spread throughout more of Europe. The Roman Catholic Church wasn't having this. This new challenge to the Roman Catholic Church set off fierce wars of religion across Europe. In the 1600s, English Calvinists, you remember the Pilgrims and the Puritans, sailed to America to escape persecution. Let's take a pilgrimage to recap time. Okay, the popes were living lavish lives even though they were supposed to be living simple lives, focused on salvation. They wanted to build lavish basilicas, so they needed more money to pay for it. They started selling tickets to heaven, and Martin Luther was like, "That's cap." He nailed 95 arguments to a church door and swept up a firestorm of protesting. The Pope called Luther to the Diet of Worms for lunch so that Luther could say, "Just kidding." But Luther said, "Nah. I know it's pronounced Worms, but come on. Diet of Worms." Then, Calvin got involved and set up a police state in Switzerland, and people liked his all-knowing God more, and he was more successful in spreading his ideas. Religious wars followed because, well, why not? And that is the Protestant Reformation nutshelled. Thanks for stopping by Nutshelled History. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Would you ever eat worms? Let us know in the comments down below.